and welcome back. I'm back out in the forest today, but a different spot from where I was last time. Today I've travelled about half an hour from home and I'm in Killeter Forest in County Tyrone. Well, when I say County Tyrone, it actually straddles the border between County Tyrone and County Donegal. It's an area I have been a few times before, and I have two videos on the channel, one of which is walking the trail that I'm on now, which is the Banadoo trail, and the other one is the Mullyfa trail. So I've done both separately and a video for both done, but today it's a little bit different. This day 3 weeks is the day that I have set aside or planned to complete the Bluestack Way. So today is a training walk in preparation for that. You could actually kind of describe today as a bit of a dress rehearsal because I'm fully kitted out in most, if not all, of the gear that I intend to take away or to use on the day of the Bluestack walk. Although I'm a wee bit behind on my training schedule, this is the first of 2 long walks that I intend to do before the actual day of the Bluestack Way itself. So the plan today is a 30k walk. So instead of you doing it along the normal roads and tracks and trails, and I'm kind of fed up walking around home now at this stage, I decided to come the short distance to Killeter Forest and combine the 2 trails in the forest here, along with another section on the far side that I haven't walked before, to come up with a walk that's going to be close to 30k in total. It might not be the full 30k, but it's going to be close. The good thing about this walk today as well, although I haven't actually walked it this way before, I've walked all of it or cycled it. The bit of the trail that's over the far side, I have mountain biked a couple of times, and then the link sections of road in between, I have been on the road bike quite a few times, so everything's fairly familiar to me. So navigation won't be a problem anyway. I'm a bit later getting on the road today than I planned. I had an unexpected burst of nerves this morning. I think the size of the task and the size of the challenge that I'm taking on finally dawned on me this morning. I've only ever walked 30k twice before, so today's going to be a bit of a challenge as it is. And then in 2 weeks' time, the plan is to walk 40k, and then a week after that, I'm going to walk 53k. So it's all become very real all of a sudden. 10 weeks ago, when it was coming up with the idea and coming up with a training plan, it seemed fairly simple and straightforward. So today reality kind of hit home a wee bit, and it took me a while to get myself settled down and organised and out of the house. But anyway, I'm here. I'm on the trail. I have just over 4 kilometres done, and most of that first section has been along the road, but it's a very nice road walk. You're kind of skirting the edge of Killeter Forest all the time, and then you come to the limestone lock, which is a beautiful viewpoint, and then just past the lock, and you're looking out over across the border through the windmill farms over to Donegal. So it's actually a really nice section of road, and much nicer to walk it in the direction that I walked it today. As well as being a dress rehearsal for the bags and gear that I'm wearing and carrying today, today's a wee bit of a dress rehearsal for food as well. Any of the walks that I've done so far, the only nutrition I've carried has been bars, cereal bars, oat bars. Nature Valley has been the bar of choice. They're easy carried and quite nutritious, and I quite like them as well, as long as you've got plenty of water to drink, because they're a bit dry. So that's what I've been doing so far, but for this kind of walk and the longer walks, that's not going to be enough nutrition, because on the day of the Bluestack Way I'm going to be walking a minimum of 10 hours, so I'm going to need something more substantial. So I'm still not decided how I'm going to do that, but one thing I've decided to try out today, I have a wee kind of bum bag, waist pack, whatever you want to call it, with me today, and I have a small cook set inside that, a light cook set, and in my bag on my back here I have a water bladder, and I've also brought a water filter with me as well, because on the trail I'm not going to be able to carry enough water in one go, or else it would be just too heavy to carry from the get-go. So I'm going to have to top up as I go along. So I have a water filter with me today as well. So the plan at some stage is to stop along the trail, filter some water, and make up a dehydrated meal and see how that goes down, how I feel eating that on the trail, and then how I feel after I've eaten it, because I'll still have a bit of walking left to do, and that'll hopefully make up my mind for the actual walk itself. Let's hope that shower manages to stay away. It looks to be dumping all its rain on the wind farm there behind me, so nice view though. So this is where the red Banadoo trail and the blue Mullyfa trail intersect each other here in the middle of the forest. So this is a spot that is well familiar to me, having walked this a couple of times now and having ridden it on the mountain bike a few times as well. So it's just over, or just below 8.5 kilometers done. It's an hour and 51 minutes, which is a wee bit slower than I would like to be going. But I've been putting the drone up and been doing a bit of filming as well, so that always slows things down. But the weather's absolutely brilliant. Loads of blue sky, some clouds scudding across. It's just a very slight breeze, which is just taking the edge off the heat of the sun. And just a couple of light showers. There was a couple of really heavy showers at the van when I got to the big bridge car park spot at the very start, which kept me back another 10 or 15 minutes, but thankfully I haven't seen any of that since, and the light showers passing over have been nothing that bad, that I haven't had to pull on my waterproofs or anything, so just kind of deal with it in the t-shirt. And then I'm dry again within 5 minutes, so yeah, I hope on the day of the actual Bluestack Way I'm as lucky with the weather. This is the end of all the big trees anyway, so or most of the end of it. I have another short section now just further on for a couple of kilometres where I have the forest on my left hand side mostly and open bogland to the right, and then before that then peters out and I be walking through a lot of farmland, but still on a very similar stony kind of track, farm access track, as opposed to a forestry access track. So yeah, no, I'm doing all right. I'm a wee bit more settled than I was this morning anyway, trying to get out of the house. So yeah, confidence is coming back. Spoke too soon about the rain. Oh, hopefully you can see that. That's quite a nasty wee shower just blew in there, but I could see it coming. I could see it coming over the hills over there, and so I was keeping an eye on it. I thought it was going to pass me by, but I think I've just caught the edge of it. But I'm glad it was bad enough, so I'm glad that I wasn't a wee bit further on round the trail, because I think I would have been right smack bang in the middle of it and got the brunt of it. So Feels quite heavy and looks quite heavy as well in the distance. Anyway, coat's on now anyway, so bit of a faff getting it off the bag and everything, but sorted. Rain's away again, thankfully. So this is where the hard work starts now. I've just come on to Mina Bala Road, and for any of you that's watched one of my older videos, you'll know that the word mean usually signifies a hill of some sort. The word mean in Irish means means mountain meadow. So from my point of view, the Mina Bala Road takes me from Tullycar Road behind me, which I've just been walking along for a short stretch, to the Corgery Road. But in between the two is a big ridge. Well, I say big, it's not high, but it's a fairly steep climb up to the top of the ridge, and then quite a steep drop down the other side. And then I walk along the Corgery Road heading towards Barnes Gap, and eventually along that road then I'll turn back into the northern side of Killeter Forest, which will take me back to the big bridge where I'm parked. So oh, in case you're wondering, the big bridge is actually the name of the bridge. It's not just me saying it's a big bridge, it's called the Big Bridge. So I'm not really looking forward to this. This is a climb that used to be always a big test on the bike, so I'm sure it's going to be a fairly big test on the legs as well. And then of course, because I drop down the far side, walk up the road, I'm going to have to come back over the top of the ridge again from the far side, from the Corgery Road. But from memory, it's not as bad coming up through the forest. Either you don't go up as high on the ridge, or else the climb up to it's more gradual. I'm not sure which, but from memory it's not so bad. But I need to get up this side first, so hopefully the rain stays away. It's turned nice and bright again. The sky's nice and blue with loads of clouds in it, so fluffy white clouds instead of big dark black ones, so fingers crossed. Well, that wasn't as bad as I expected it to be, or more what I was worried it was going to be like. It was there was one steep section about 3/4 of the way up, but it was kind of just head down, arse up, and keep walking really, more than anything else. I had a wee breeze kind of coming over my left shoulder as well, which really helped. It felt like it was giving me a wee push up the hill, which was nice. Just before I started onto the hill, I passed the halfway mark. Hey! Passed 15 kilometers, and since then I've also passed 16. So I'm making good time. Quite pleased with that anyway. Legs are starting to get a wee bit tired, but that's to be expected as well, I suppose. I haven't done any walking all week at all, so the last time I was out was Monday, and I did a 20k walk on Monday, so I'm slowly but surely coming up to that distance now. I think by the time I get down on to the bottom of the Mina Bala Road and meet the Corgery Road again, I should be pretty much very close, I'd say, to 20k. So that'll be the longest walk I've done now, probably for about a month. I have done a 25 or 26k walk last month, but I haven't been as active, I suppose is the word to say. Lazyitis kind of struck. I'm one of these people that if I can keep in a routine, I'm very good at keeping going, but if something happens to break the routine, I find it very difficult to get started again. So that's kind of what this challenge was all about, and part of the reason why I wanted to set a date for the Bluestack Way as well. So it gave me something to work towards, gave me a reason to keep getting out, and helped keep me motivated. Oh, almost 20k done. Just having a wee rest here at this bridge on the Corgery Road. It's one I've cycled over loads before, but never really noticed that there was a proper wee river running underneath it. But I have a feeling that maybe all the heavy rain recently has turned it into a river, whereas normally it's just a wee burn, a wee shallow burn. I feel like I've been walking on tar now for ages and ages, and it's really really not enjoying it anymore. Just want to get off it and get back into the forest. But this bit of road, the Corgery Road, it's stupid because I know this road so well because I cycle it loads, but it's a lot longer than I actually thought it was going to be, and I suppose that is a result of cycling it so much that when you're on the bike the kilometers just tick by so much more quickly. And especially as I would normally cycle it the opposite way to the way I'm walking it, so it's generally downhill and you usually have a breeze behind you, so this bit of road you're usually bombing down it on the bike. But yeah, it's a bit of a slog by foot. As well as that, there's cars on this road. It's a fairly well used route from Castledairg over to Barnes Gap, but it's not busy, but it's busy now anyway. But there's sort of, when I've been walking, there's been a car every minute and a half or a couple of minutes, which it's just, I just don't want to be walking with cars. It's simple as that. They're not causing me any problems, it's just rather they weren't there. But I'm hoping, I say I'm on 19.7, almost 20k. I think I've probably got about another 3, maybe 4 kilometers of road to do, and then I'm back into the forest, up over that ridge that I mentioned earlier, and back down to the big bridge. I have a sneaky suspicion that my routing is off as well. I don't think I'm going to hit 30k. I think I'm going to come close, but I don't see the walk over the ridge through the forest being as long as I thought it was. So I might be a wee bit short of the 30k, but sure, we'll see what it turns out at the end. Anyway, that's enough of a rest, time to get on again. Hey, finally off that bloody road. Oh, I thought it was never going to end. And then to make matters worse, I ended up walking past the entrance to the forest. This has all changed quite a lot since the last time I was here. This used to be all fairly mature trees here behind me. So since the last time I've been up this track, that's obviously all been harvested and cut down. And it must be a long time, because you can see where the young trees have been planted a couple of years ago and have come back up again as well. So yeah, managed to walk straight past it, looked at the gate, saw the sign and thought, no, that's not the one. There's another one further along the road. And I walked about another 300 meters along the road and realized, oops, I should have went up there. So anyway, here I am now. And even though I'm back climbing up the hill again, I'm really glad to get off that tire. The cars were really starting to piss me off as much as anything else, and I don't know if it was a physical or a mental thing, but everything was starting to ache. My feet were aching, my knees were aching, my legs are aching. And I stopped just briefly down there at the gate just to catch my breath for a few minutes. And starting off on the forest track, everything aches less already. So I also took a few minutes to look at the map, and I figure I have about 7k to take me to the end. So I think I'm going to finish at about 29.5 kilometers. I might have it in me to do that other 500 meters. We'll see. Oh, anyway, the sun's out and I'm off the road, and I'm on the last section now through the forest back to Big Bridge and back to the van. Whew. The forest feels very different over this side. It's some nice, very cool, tall stands of trees to walk through, but the weather up here must be very, very wet, for the trees are all covered in big thick mats of moss. Even the ground in between the trees is all very, very deep mossy looking. Loads of water runoff in the drains, loads of standing water in amongst the trees as well. So obviously very boggy ground up here, and it must get an awful lot of rain as well. But it's quite primordial feel to it nearly, apart from the fact that I'm walking on a man-made track, man-made stony track. But yeah, no, I'm coming back out of the trees here again now. It's strange because there's all these big massive areas of clearfell, and some of them a few years old because they've been replanted, and the trees are coming back up again, and then you get these sudden stands of big trees. But all along this side here, pretty consistently since I come into the forest, has been untouched. So I'm not sure what the theory is behind the management of that, but anyway, I'm enjoying the shelter of the trees. No breeze up here, and it's nice and cool. Hopefully I get to the end now and stay dry. So, oh, why is it here? 28k done now, just over. And for the last sort of kilometre or so, you can get the real sense or feeling that we're gradually dropping down towards the river now. Up over that ridge from the Corgray Road and through the forest. So, oh, really feeling it now. And I knew this was going to be a bit of an effort today, but I'm a wee bit concerned about how tired and how achy I am now. I had a very sobering thought at 26.5k that I was only halfway round what would be the full distance of the Bluestack Way, and considering how I felt there, I thought, Jesus, how am I going to be fit for this in 3 weeks time? So we'll see. it's gonna be tough. I suppose it wouldn't be a challenge if it was easy, but yeah, it's going to be hard work. One decision I've made today, anyway, definitely is about nutrition and some of the gear I'm taking with me. So at no stage today did I feel like I wanted to stop and take an extended break and make a meal. So the kind of tentative plan to bring a freeze-dried meal and a stove cooking set and cook something warm to eat at some stage in the Bluestack Way is definitely off the cards now. I'm going to obviously have to come up with some other plan for nutrition, because I don't think I had enough food with me today, which is part of the reason why I'm feeling tired as well and lacking in energy, but not the only reason. So I'm going to have to come up with a plan, and I have something ticking away in the back of my head. So I'll need to see next weekend if I can make that happen. But no, this has been a useful walk today. I have enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy most of the road walking along the Corgray Road. That was a bit of a drag, but apart from that, all this forest walking has been quite nice and enjoyable. Saw a pair of buzzards, saw a few deer as well, and I think I just missed another one just there back there before I started talking to the camera. You hear movement of a very large animal in the trees, and there's not many big predators around here, so there's nothing else it could have been really bar a red deer. So yeah, almost at the end now. I'll post up at the end the stats for the walk, how far it actually was in the end up, and what my moving time and everything was. But going by what I have done today, I figure at my normal walking speed 53 kilometers should be done in slightly over 10 hours of walking, But obviously as the walk goes on, I'm probably going to get a bit slower. I definitely did today anyway. So what I've allowed for is a minimum of 12 hours on the day, including stops. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. But yeah, that's 3 weeks today, which is a wee bit scary as well, but I'm looking forward to it too. But anyway, this has just been a training walk, but hopefully you've enjoyed coming along with me today and seeing some of the sights and seeing me putting myself through the ringer. So as always, I really do appreciate everyone who clicks on these videos and watches. Thanks for coming along with me today, and hopefully see you next time. All the best, bye bye.